to the remote ink transfer station. This is like yung container ng tubig sa taas, yung mga container nandun. Parang ganun yung concept niya. Meron siyang it comes with 200-liter barrels of ink. 200-liter per color. Centralized siya. It is designed to support up to 3 printing system of printers. But in this case, because of the redundancy requirement of COMELEC, what we have done is basically put in one of this per single engine per printer to have complete redundancy. And on top of that, at the back of the printer, there is a reservoir of 4 gallon per color at the back of the printer itself. So this ensures continuous printing without worrying about is it running out of ink, do I need to replace and everything. So minimize
running out of ink, do I need to replace and everything. So minimize basically the downtime, increase the uptime, and at the same time, eliminate the labor basically that may be part of the risk or a failure of the printing.
As I mentioned, this is designed for continuous printing. Next is the printing consumables. I mentioned about the ink barrels or the ink that we have there, right? We also have the print heads. This is the core
Next
of
is the printing consumables. I mentioned about the printing barrels or the ink that we have there
on that printer right now.
We also have the print heads. This is the core of this technology. This is the
same
print head
concept
that's being used on that printer right now.
Cartridge. In this case, mas malaki siya. Right? It is designed
It is the same concept as your desktop
replaceable.
printer. You have a printer.
When this fails, the system will tell you before it
This
fails,
is
so that
mas
you can
malaki siya.
replace before you start printing. Right? And again, you don't need to
It
call the
is
service
designed to
engineer.
be
Similar to a desktop printer, you can just open it, take it out,
for customer
take it out,
principle.
put a new one in,
When this
and run.
fails, the
Again,
system
as simple
will
as
tell
that.
you before
So we're eliminating basically the need for a service engineer.
that you can
This will
replace
make operation
before
replaceable
or you
again
start
to
printing.
maintain high uptime of the machine.
And again, you don't need to call the service
Again, the
engineer.
quality
Similar to your desktop
this is part
printer,
of the
if you just
consumable.
open
It's
it,
not part of
take
the
it out.
machine. It's a consumable.
take it out, put a new one in, and run. Again, the printer. As simple as that. So we're eliminating basically the need for service.
It is used basically.
This will be operator replaceable. Again, maintain
every
high
time you
up.
start and stop the machine.
This is part of the consumable.
Again,
It's not part of the
quality
machine. It's a consumable.
printing as well. Or any defect on the printing of the
The next consumable is the
So these are the
every
only
time
two
you start and
consumables
stop printing as well.
of the machine.
Consumables
Again, these
of
are
the
all
machine.
recyclable. So
Again,
there's
these
no
are all
chemicals in there.
recyclable.
So
So there's no chemicals in
again,
there.
aside from that, it's recyclable. It is designed for the environment.
And again, aside from that,
Using
recyclable, it is
water-based
designed for the
formulation of the
environment. We're using water-based formulation
human
of the
health,
food,
worldwide
which is compliant with human
transportation
health,
and waste as well.
worldwide
And even the emission
regulations,
is very low.
transportation and waste as well, and even the emission is very low. So this is safe for the environment and safe for the people.
Certain type of
If ever they have any allergies on certain type of ink that is used on the printing.
Then let me go back to the printing system. So now we
Then
have
let me go to the
moisturizer.
printing system.
You
We're
might
now going to be moisturizer. You might be thinking, Tony, what is moisturizer? If I call it phrase, yes, it is correct.
Especially in high-speed
In
printing.
printing, especially in high-speed printing,
You encounter
paper curve.
exotic,
you encounter wavings, you encounter electrostatic charging, and folding, breaking during the folding of the ballot, right? But in this case, we're not folding any ballot.
because during printing, you put
We usually have this because during printing, you put water
and then in order
or
for the
ink
ink
into the
to stick to
paper, and then in order for the ink to stick into the paper,
drying basically
you need
takes
to
out
dry.
moisture from the paper.
The drying basically takes out moisture from the paper, aside from the ink itself,
becomes stiff,
right?
or
The
become
paper
curly,
becomes
or
stiff,
become wavy.
or become curly, or become wavy.
So that's where you encounter
It's really dry.
shrinkage of the ballot or
So that's where you
expansion of the
encounter
ballot.
shrinking in the
They're
ballot
not
or
totally dry.
expansion.
Right? So in this case, we're putting in a moisturizer to put that moisture into the ballot paper. to bring it back into original state or characteristic of the paper, its original form and such, so that it can go into the sheeting or stacking unit for accurate flatness without the paper curl and no waviness, and less like a static charge. So that it can go into the other finishing, to the ballot verification, and into the ACM machine in its original form and size expected on the ballot. So that is the moisturizer. And it's designed basically, as I mentioned, to maintain the integrity of the ballot paper so that we can eliminate any potential issue during the vote counting. So we're making every effort to ensure that the ballot has an integrity when it goes out to the public. Next, ballot security. Right. Printer is a printer, right? But again, there's so many technologies out there where we can support. One of them is the several security features here. QR code, which we are already using right now, secure QR code or serialized QR code. In this case, we're using serialized QR code with unique ballot identifier. It is already embedded there. We support that as well. We support also the black mark. You've seen on the ACM that we have demonstrated as a black mark. We also support invisible UV printing using the module, UV printing module that we have along the system. And also we support micro printing. These are just these several of the many security features that we support on this printing machine. Now we're going to the inline ballot sheeter. After printing, moisturizer, now we're going to cut the ballot, right? So here, as you can see, it is running inline, meaning it's connected to the printer. Let's actually it's connected to the printer. We're printing two up, two side by side in a 20-inch roll. It will be slit in the middle. It will be cut and stacked. During this entire process, we have a camera on board that keeps track of the QR code. We count every ballot that is good using the serialized QR code. We log that as an audit trail in our system. Okay? As you can see how it's being done. It's 20-inch width, slit in the middle, and it goes to the cutter. In line without human intervention. So no one is touching the ballot while it's being printed. They will only touch the ballot at the end of the line, which is already stacked per precinct or clustered precinct. That's how that is what we are providing to COMELEC. Okay? So if you think about talking about this spoilage or junk and everything, that will go in a waste bin automatically, and that ballot will not be counted. It will not be bothered. So when we send this audit trail to the EMS would know from 1,000 ballots for this precinct, I will only scan, let's say 900. 100 is missing. EMS will generate a reprint file. That's 100 with a unique QR code for that. So anything, let's say someone took some of the ballots that is in there, right, during the printing, that will not be usable on any of the ACM machine, because the QR code that has been reported, those are the QR code that will only be applied to the ACMs. That is the point. You can copy it if you want. The only unique or valid ballot will be the one registered in the EMS, what we are providing from the printing and also from the ballot verification. There will also be instances that the ballot cannot be read by the ACM, cannot be verified. We will also provide the EMS back a regeneration file based on those spoiled ballots or unverified ballots. Again, this is designed for automation and tracking to maintain the throughput that we have and also to maintain full automation without human intervention while tracking the entire process. Okay? So that brings me back basically to the ballot printing tracking, where we have, as part of the solution that we have, a dashboard and reporting. We keep track of what has been sent to LTO, what's going to be printed, what has been printed, what has been shipped out. Again, I can show you the system right now. Give me a second. So this is a dashboard. It's a live one right now, one of our demo machine. You can create the view that you want on this dashboard. Whatever information that you capture from printing, from verification, and everything, you can have your own view. You can create your own dashboard here. You can even say you can add in, let's say, let's create a new one. This is back. We have a huge team here from Miru and from the other partners that we have. We are training our own service engineer here locally. And on top of that, we're flying in our own engineer from the manufacturing here, coming from Singapore, from the US, from Japan, and all over the world that is needed here. So they will be here in the Philippines to support during that live production. And I just want to summarize here basically, but the printer is just a printer, right? It's a thumb printer, right? But what makes it unique for us is that we have the application, right? Like the EMS to produce the ballot that is required. We have the finishing solution to automate things, right? To produce the required size and integrity of the ballot. We have the workflow basically that brings the EMS generated file into NPO for printing and routing it back for tracking into the EMS. And the paper, right? We work with paper manufacturers around the world. So we know how to handle the paper. That's why we have the moisturizer as well. And of course, we have a service team locally here and abroad, and also the spare parts plan basically to sustain the requirements of COMELEC during the live production of ballot. So in summary, what we are going to deliver is high-speed printing equipment, high-quality printing, automated or automation of the printing, high productivity, tracking for transparency, dashboard for reporting, several ballot security features, and the comprehensive training and the deployment plan. And yep, that ends my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Any questions from the floor? Anybody can ask questions. Hi po, good afternoon, sir. You mentioned a while ago about the ink contains 14 liters. Were you able to test during sa ano niyo po before na how many minutes before or how many hours before it empties yung 14 liters?
Dalawa yung nandun. Number one is yung reservoir, which is a 14 liters or 4 gallons. Ano, sa likod ng makina. Yung isa is yung malaking tangke. Alin po rito yung tinatanong natin, ma'am? Yung maliit o yung malaki?
Maliit lang po, sir.
Yung maliit can sustain you 1.5 day of printing. And hindi lagi nawawalan yun kasi continuous supply yun ng ink mula sa ink tank papunta roon.
Sorry, sir. Ano po ulit? Gano'ng katagal lang?
Gano'ng tagal? 2 days at least.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you for the question.
Question.
Yes, sir.
You said earlier that the machine could handle 24 hours of operation.
Yes, it's designed to operate in 24 hours operation, sir.
So there is no like maintenance procedures.
Okay.
preventive maintenance and everything?
There is. So in the 24 hours calculation that we have here, we have accounted with that throughput. We have accounted for the roll change that we have. Every roll change will take around 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So we accounted for that. In a day, if you run at 500 feet per minute, you'll be changing rolls about 18 times in a day. That will take 5 minutes. So 2 hours already spent just for changing the roll. While changing the roll, you can already do the maintenance on that. In between that, the maintenance is just barely replacing the printhead in 1 or 2 minutes. And then also we also account for 1 hour for maintenance just in case. So the actual printing window, actual operating hours of just printing is 21 hours only. The 3 hours is spent for loading the paper and maintenance, sir.
Are there any other questions?
Hello, good afternoon. Dr. Arvin Serrano from PPCRB.
Thank you, sir.
First question, do you have prior experiences in terms of printing large amount and also for any government contracts for that matter? Second is about do you have any pictures there of your printer? Like you mentioned about cheaters, no? I never seen any picture of your cheaters, or you illustrated about the ballot printing flow, but it's very small. We cannot see it clearly. Do you have any bigger illustration for the ballot printing flow?
Yes, thank you very much for your question, sir. Number one, the question about do you have any references that we have done election printing? Yes, we do have, right? Number one, in the US, we have a customer who's printing for the national government and different counties in the US called RANBEC Election Services. It's a company really specializing in ballot printing, supporting the US election. And now, again, in the next upcoming election, they are already preparing again for the next round of election. That's number one in the US. Number two, we have a customer which we use as a reference here in Paris, France. They just recently printed in 2022 for the national election. They printed around 60 million ballots. And again, it was confirmed through BAC that yes, they can use that site to showcase it to COMELEC if needed as well. And the other one is, again, the next question is about the sheeter, right, sir? Yes, all of these machines, all of these installations we have, they're varying different requirements, right? They use different brand and everything. But Hunkler here, Hunkler is the finishing solution. It's a Swiss company, Switzerland. They make this. This is very common. Even here in the Philippines, a lot of our customers here are using Hunkler sheeting, right? Similarly, the ballot that the statement of account of Meralco, right? It's not printed by us, but that sheeting equipment is the same as what Meralco is using to produce your Meralco bills. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Item 6, following the question, item 6C of the notice of SCB or the technical specification states that the bidder should have an on-site demo version of the proposed equipment or presentation of similar installation of the equipment from a previous contract of the bidder. So, as the presentation, in your presentation, sir, was it used already to, was it used in a previous contract with the uh, uh, previous contract of the bidder? Well, the requirement here, sir, is the presentation of similar installation of the equipment from a previous contract of the bidder. So that's the requirement stated in the DOR. So what you present, sir, has it been used by another, by the bidder in another contract?
Yes, which is Data One in Paris, France. They used it recently, just last year, the same technology and everything here. And we have the certification that was provided by Data One to the back team to confirm that they have used it and they're open for COMELEC to see if it is required. Thank you.
So that's the same system or the same presentation.
It's the same.
Very much.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question from the floor?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So if there are no more questions for the first presentation, let us now move to the next presentation. But in the meantime, let me update the attendance. Also present in today's presentation are the following. From the Special Bids and Awards Committee, we have our chairperson, Director Alan Francis Villabaya, and SBAC member, Director Divina Blas Perez. Also from the PNB, present, Attorney Nancy Hadap Villanueva, Attorney Juan Pepito de la Cruz, and Mr. Vico Valenzuela, and also Attorney LJ Bernardo from the TWG.
every participant, making sure that third one, the resources is available. That is where we provided the venue of the training and the user manual or the training kits that will be needed so that we can assure that the quality of the training is there and the transfer of knowledge is completed. So having said that, what are the topics that we need to, we will be providing to the COMELEC? We're doing the installation and configuration of the systems, counting machines, the EMS, and the CCS. We will also be touching on the generation of election configuration for ACM and ballot pieces, installation of the configuration in ACM. We will be touching on the format or template of the ACM file output, input to CCS and the central server, vice versa. But we will not also forget about teaching them on the repair, troubleshooting, tuning up, maintenance of the equipment on both hardware and software. Likewise, the design, printing, and the reformatting of the ballot cases and election reports. Operations and administration that is all provided, including the third-party system. But most importantly, we will touch on the safeguards to prevent intrusion and tampering and theft. How to see the critical systems errors, and most importantly, the contingency plan. So with all those many topics that we will be covering, the timeline as submitted to the COMELEC during the meeting are as follows. If we are lucky enough to conclude everything as early as February, the internal team will be internal team of the JV will start working already on the training of the subject matter experts, so that each and every one in the JV is familiar with the systems being provided to COMELEC.
It's
It's important that it's not only
one
one member of the JV knows
but
it,
rather
but
each and
rather
every
each and
member of the JV. And on the availability of COMELEC, we can already start as early as March for the first stage training or the orientation covering the ECM, EMS, and the CCS. But this will be the pre-customized training. We know that because of the number of participants to join, we are seeing this to reach until August of 2024. But during this time, we also know that there will be customization, there will be the delivery of the ballot printing machines. So that by December this year, we can start the second stage training, which is the post-customized post-customization of the system. Again, with the number of participants, we think that this will run until March of next year. Just right, because we still have a month, which is on April, wherein we can do a retraining, refresh training, just in case COMELEC needs it. And come May 2025, or the D-Day, or what you call E-Day, we are ready. So having gone through the timeline, there are project stages that we need to comply in order to fulfill, in order for us to complete the timeline as well. As early as now, we're already starting with the information gathering, which is will be entirely dependent on how the outcome would be, and it will go to the planning stage, scheduling up to the execution of the entire system. But who are the target audience for this training? It will be the following: the COMELEC executives, the trainers and the certifiers, the NSTC and command center supervisors and agents, including the level 1 and level 2 technical support. We will also be training the EBs and the random audit manual team together with the technical support from as identified by COMELEC. We also included here and highly suggest, of course, with approval of COMELEC, because we feel that the knowledge building should include the voting public. So with your approval, we can also create a social media campaign as to what the new machine is and how it's going to be, the procedure. Likewise, we can also do posters in the election area on the day itself and even dissemination of leaflets, all subject to COMELEC approval. Sorry, I jumped. Okay, so what is included in the training? We will be providing the venue, we will be providing the training materials, training kits, the training ballots, which even if the actual ballot printer is not yet here, we can provide you with the training ballots. The hardware, of course, to play around with, although I believe in the first stage, we have limited number of ACMs to try out. But in the second stage, we can have as much ACMs to play around with. And last but not the least, we will be providing the trainer subject matter experts. We have seen that a while ago it was presented by HP. So for the printer side, it will be HP. For the ACM, it will be coming from Miru. For the other third-party applications, we will be inviting also the provider of the third-party application to present it themselves. It will not be somebody from us who doesn't know the item. So for the venue, we are proposing the following. Of course, for the COMELEC executives, of which the number of participants about 250 people. Right now, we have a commitment from Diamond Hotel that they can cater 250 in one go. The training will last 1 or 2 days. Again, depending on the final agreement with COMELEC as to the coverage of the training, the extent of the training to be provided to them. For the trainers, certifiers, and agents, 2,000 people is what we counted for. So we cannot find a venue very close in Manila except Tagaytay for now. But we know that the training will be in batches. However, should we come up with a minimum number of 500 or so, the only one we can find that can cater that for an overnight training would be the Development Academy of the Philippines in Tagaytay or DAP. Okay. Again, as we agree on the exact number of participants, we can move the venue either closer to Manila or in Manila, or just in case you have a suggestion in mind, we're open to it. PICC, sir. Oh, sorry. Why not, sir? Tignan mo natin yung... Okay. So having said, having covered the topics to be discussed, the timeline that we need to meet, and the venues and what to provide, our objective for the training, number one, for the executive, we wanted the COMELEC executives to be fully familiar with the system and be confident that what we are providing is what the COMELEC required in the TOR, and we are 100% compliant. For the trainers, we want them to feel the confidence that they are the next one to do the presentation themselves, with us just shadowing them. Otherwise, we will feel that they will need another training if they are still not confident in doing the presentation on the subject matter itself. For the technical support, the objective is that they will be able to do the troubleshooting themselves without or minimum assistance from us, at least on the level 1 and level 2 errors. They can do it. But the resources, we have to make sure that everything is provided so that the participants, the only thing that they need to bring to during the training is an open mind to know about the system that we're providing. So that the final objective of being 100% ready come election time is achieved. So in each and every end of training, we will be providing, this is just a sample document that we need to, we will be providing the batch, each batch of trainees so that we would know not only our extent extent in the training, but also learning from them what are the things that they didn't understand and wanted to ask more clarifications, and at the same time we can do a feedback mechanism back to COMELEC as to which one they wanted to learn more in the topics that we've covered. So that's it for the training plan. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the floor? Yes, sir. Dr. Arwin Serrano from PPCRB.
Good afternoon again. When you say about training, it covers all kinds of training.
Good afternoon, Doc. It's actually the training is based on the ACM, EMS, and CCS. The other trainings will be provided by the other subject matter expert, like for instance, in the case of the ballot printers.
Excluding the ballot printing. So, like troubleshooting, technical training.
Yes.
So that includes also.
Yes, Doctor.
Including-
Matter of fact, that's important for the technical support.
Yeah. And then also the training for electoral board members, for in partnership with the OST with regards to the certification training. So kasama rin 'yon.
Kasama rin po yan, Doc.
Okay. So what about yung mga mock elections?
The training for the mock election, we will be providing the training to the people who will train the other people. So for the mock election, if it's required by COMELEC, we can also do that.
So all kinds of trainings.
Yes,
ninyo.
po. Mm-mm.
So again, meron kayong experience in doing this all kinds of trainings, or kung mas maganda nga kung related sa election, like what was mentioned earlier na nakapag-conduct na ng ganong mga printing sa US. So in your case, HP also have experience in this type of trainings, various trainings.
We will be relying, like I said, Doctor, earlier on, as early as February, the joint venture will be trained internally, but it will be spearheaded by Miru, who has the experience in the training and the execution of the election system.
Okay, so yung kumbaga yung technical nila, and then with your experience in parang general training, so parang ganon yung ipoprovide niyo.
Apo. Thank you.
More? Attorney Jay? Any more questions from the floor? So there are no more questions. Thank you, Mr. Lim, for that presentation. I now turn over the floor to PWG Head, Attorney General.
Concludes the presentation of the legal calculated as as indicated in the documents. Now, may for some announcement, may I ask that it uh, signed
You are now excused. Thank you po. Snacks are being served. Thank you.